Okay, whilst a lot of you have managed to kind of grasp the basic concept of trigonometry, I'm going to try and stretch you a little bit just with today's task, try and get you back in the swing of things, of using it again, with slightly more difficult problems. So what you have is some multi-step problems to do, very, very similar to this one. So our aim of the game is to, as always in maths, find x, find out what this length here is. Okay. Now, some of you might be able to do this straight away, but you're going to use a couple-step process. So you could do some slightly different things here. Some obviously take you probably a little bit longer than others, but your main aim is to first of all calculate this length here, and then that will allow you to calculate that length there, hence multi-step. So first off, we need to calculate this length here. Let's label that y. Okay, so what do I always do, just to straight off, is I label my sides. Okay, so this is ultimately to find y. So what I've got here, so y is my opposite. So it's opposite my angle here, and 9 to this 27 is my adjacent. Okay, so I've got my opposite and adjacent. You might know exactly what that means and which one I'm going to be using, but I'll go through the whole process just to remind you all. So I've got my O, and I've got my adjacent. So that means I'm going to be using tan to calculate that. Okay, so tan of my angle is equal to opposite over adjacent equals y over 9. And then to rearrange this, it would be 9 times tan 27 is equal to y. Okay, hopefully all of that kind of makes sense. If you're going back to calc again, make sure you've got that d at the top using degrees. Otherwise, this isn't going to work. So 9 times tan 27, and they get 4.585. Okay. Now, what I suggest you do kind of at this point, okay, is leave that answer on your calculator, because you will have potential rounding errors. Okay, so if you just went to 4.6 straight away here, okay, then technically you could incur a slightly different rounding error to if you just use 9.58 or 585. So what I'm going to put is y is equal to 4.585 ... Okay, now the reason for that is I'm going to be using the value again. Okay, if you want to write out all the decimals, you could do, but this is the way you're going to be likely to do it in exams. Okay, I'm not entirely sure how Hegarty is going to do it, if they want it you to round it at this case or not. Just be careful. Okay, but that's the first step. I've calculated y. Okay, now I need to calculate x. So I would then go through the kind of whole process again. So y, with respect to this triangle now and this angle here, my y is my adjacent. So that now becomes my adjacent. I'm trying to calculate my hypotenuse. Okay, so A and H. Okay, so again, if you want to go through the process, so A and then H. So I'm going to be using the cosine rule this time. So here, this would be cos 43 is equal to my adjacent. Now, that would be this value that I've got here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to write 4.585 ... I'm keeping it on the calculator, still there, over my hypotenuse, which is x. Okay, so got to rearrange this. So this would be x is equal to 4.585 dot 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 over cos 43. So all I'm going to do with this is I'm going to do answer divided by, so that keeps it all there. And I'll just do it in brackets, cos 43. Well, I don't think you actually need to do it in brackets, but I always do anyway. Okay, and I get 6.27. Okay, now I'm not entirely sure what they are asking for rounded to specific decimal places, but they could, this could be 2.6 or 2.6, 6.27, or it might be 6.3, depending on how Hegarty is getting you to round it. It might just say one decimal place. It might say to the nearest, just to save rounding errors, to the nearest centimetre or metre or whatever. Okay, just be careful, look at the question and don't round in the middle. Okay, I'm just going to write that at the bottom. The reason I'm emphasising that is because you can get into a bad habit of rounding at this point, and obviously when it comes to exams, even if you get 6.35 and the answer is 6.34, you're not going to get all the marks, and it's a silly mark to drop when, if you're just going to follow it through, you're not going to have any issues and you're going to get full marks. So hopefully you're okay with that. You can see kind of what I've done there. You can obviously pause this video at any point if you need any help. That's roughly similar to the vast majority of questions that at least you're going to get on this Hegarty anyway. Okay, let me know if you need any other help, and yeah, good luck. Welcome back after half term.